Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Cavern Kings, or welcome back if you've been following my channel for, like, an unbelievably long time. Anyway, boy, yeah, it looks like everything is gone, so I guess I'm doing Jack. What is even this? Select the clan. Oh, I see. I like that, he loses the mouth. And do we give him a hat? I don't know. Bucket. Alright, get to pick a random gun, rebar rifle, screwdriver, nail gun. I remember liking the saw driver. And a random weapon. Shovel's good. I want to say the jackhammer lets me fly, and I never liked the kinetic fist. Alright, let's go with this one. Alright, so I haven't played this game in a long time, and gosh, I don't know how to feel about it. Oh boy, I need to turn those sound effects down. I think this is one of those games that was, like, the main reason why I hate sound effects is because big, loud. It'll get louder as we go along. Anyway, oh boy. Never mind, I guess the whole game is just loud. I think that's the real answer here. Okay. I'm not sure if I can do much about this. I think we're just gonna have to leave those guys alone. Okay, well, it's fine. Oh boy. I've forgotten much of this. At the same time, remember a lot as well. I used to play this game back in like 2016, give or take. It was like one of my bread and butter roguelikes, and I have like 100 episodes on it if you're interested in seeing like Wee Babby Wander and what that sounds like. But for me, it's kind of one of those like super nostalgic games where I adore it to no end. It's great. It's also unfinished, and I kind of have mixed feelings on that because when it comes down to it, it's like $5 now. They reduced the price heavily and have just kind of kept it down. And so, like, from my perspective, I used to care tremendously about, like, the fact that this game did not get finished. I think I'm still a little cranky about that, but at the same time, I can appreciate it for what it is now, which is actually fairly competent. Like, this didn't need much before it became actually pretty good. Now, it is unfinished, that said. The developers, oddly enough, are still active. The people that made this are the ones that made Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. So, if you guys saw or played that, same people, hence why the pixel art might look kind of similar. They've definitely improved. And, like, good for them, honestly. I would love for nothing more than for them to go back and do, like, a couple of nominal patches just to fix a couple of the bugs and just make everything just a little bit better. Not, like, tremendously so, because I don't think there's too much that needs to be fixed. But there's, like, a couple of things that could have been improved. Namely, this was originally supposed to have online multiplayer, and that didn't happen. And it's a bit of a shame, because, like, the online multiplayer facet was going to be absolutely, like, incredible. Well, there's a shop there, but I ain't getting to it. I think some of these have items, maybe. I forget. It's been a while. Or maybe it was just the lizard that got that stuff. I don't know. It's been a while. Oh, I forgot how much I loved the ice zone, and also hated it. I was terrible at this. Maybe? Or maybe I was really good. It's hard to tell. But, like, this is probably one of those, like, long-lasting indie games that I'm just a little bit more and it would have been fine. Unfortunately, they ran out of money, or it just wasn't profitable enough, which I think is valid. You know, some part of me is just like, oh, but, you know, developers really should finish the games that they start. I think that's a valid grump, but at the same time, sometimes it's expensive. And, you know, you can't really expect developers to put their livelihoods. Oh, I forgot I had an extra jump there. Okay, there we go. More money. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. No, it actually didn't do too much damage. Alright, we're good. I don't know. It's a touchy thing, and it's kind of frustrating, because it's like, boy, if money wasn't an object, we get some really banger games left and right. But at the same time, I don't know. It's fine. But, like, even today, like, this holds up incredibly well. The core gameplay loop is effectively you're just going down infinitely, as long as you can go before you die. There are cool Risk of Rain style power-ups that you can grab, mostly from shops. I think there's one or two characters that specifically, like, just get stuff for free. It's been a while. I definitely remember having, like, really ridiculous saw blades and a couple other things. But I think I'm not going to... Oh, I don't know. Oh, there's the There's a treasure chest. I think this is like one of the good ones, actually. Attacks will poison enemies. Heck yeah. We also have this, which you can purchase. Okay, yeah, very... let's see. Very Risk of Rain. In a good way. I stand by the idea that, like, Risk of Rain, original, like, Risk of Rain 1 and 2, I guess, by that merit, the power-up system in that was incredibly compelling in a way that, like, I don't think most other games have really kind of come close to. The idea of, like, picking up successive power-ups and having them scale almost exponentially in terms of effect, and then just layering tons of them on top of each other for just, like, nth degree ridiculousness. Like, there's something just really satisfying about that. And I wish more games kind of followed suit. Power-ups are what make kind of roguelikes interesting for me. I've played enough, like, more regular roguelikes that, yeah, sure, there are some fun ones where it's just purely gear-based. I think it's gotta be good. I think it's part of the reason why I can't play, like, actual roguelikes, and, you know, by the traditionalist perspective, I only play roguelites. I'd like to play some more that really do have that kind of feeling of, like, weird scaling power-ups. But they're surprisingly few and far between, unfortunately. Okay, just nuke those guys from orbit. There we go. Trying to think of, I don't know, so many. It's kind of fun going back to this. Last time I played it was 6 years ago, which is wild to me. Time flies. Kind of in a good and a bad way. I don't know. I certainly feel like older, wiser, and maybe in a better place. I've definitely been feeling kind of like here and there lately. But I think so much of that just has to do with the state of the world rather than anything else. Okay. Sometimes it's got sweet gear on it, and sometimes it's trash. There we go. No loot for you. I am the only man that can saw. I am the saw man. Ooh, shot. My HP is doing fine. At least for the moment. Things get way worse later on. Once everything gets so much bigger. Please die. Thank you. Okay. I think I'm gonna grab the knife. Oh, I can buy multiple. Periodically throw knives, or... really wants to go home. Homesick shard. I don't remember what that does. Get more knives. Ooh, right. Those things explode. I remember now. I don't remember the knives being amazing. It's based on how fast you attack, which makes the jackhammer kind of silly. Because I am just a knife shower at this point. It's actually pretty strong. Oh, Homeward Shard. That's the thing that's shooting upwards for me. Okay. I remember. Or upwards, downwards. Homewards. Homeward bound. Sadly, getting the actual vertical momentum here is hard. I know there's a couple of, like, jump boosters. I want to say even like a jetpack that lets you go way higher, way faster. But I, unfortunately, lack it. It's fine. I don't need it. I am strong enough. I am powerful. I don't have the best of equipment here. That's fine. Hopefully it'll show up. At least there's plenty of money to be had. And a lot of dead enemies. Whoops. Okay, I don't think I'm getting it. I would love all that money, but I will die if I let that thing hit me. Whoop. There we go. Chest and bats. I should have enough money for this. Yeah, there we go. Ow. Just grab this real quick. Thank you. Give me the sweet loots. How's my HP doing? It's fine. We're fine. There we go. I don't actually remember what Jack's power-ups are. I want to say he's kind of just generic, but I thought he had actually something that was kind of handy. I don't know. It's been a while. I definitely remember the saw blades being, like, my go-to absolute favorite. There's just something about throwing, like, slinging just endless amounts of giant saw blades around that just destroyed foes. It was good. And look at this money shower. It's all the bats dying as they spawn in. Do that. Alright. Made it out like bandits. Oh, gosh. Oh, I actually forgot there were bosses. Like, no joke, completely forgot that they were a thing. Okay, can I afford that? No. It's okay. Stay away from the weird rainbow thingamadoos. There we go. Okay, Piercing Oculus unlocked. I think I'm good? I forgot how good this music was. There we go. Get up here, get a little bit of HP. Grab those. How much money do I have? Yeah. I don't remember if the black hole boxes is good. I want to say it sucks up gems. I think that's the case. Increased magnetic power. Yep, that should be exactly what I'm looking for. Alright, here we go. Gosh, the music's so banger. I don't know. Yeah, this is gonna make my life easier. Obviously, that giant stinking hole is gonna make it a little harder. We don't want to progress. Every progressive room is a little bit more difficult. And it scales the enemies farther. And so what I want to do is stay on these floors for as long as possible to accrue as much wealth and items and power as I possibly can. Oh right, I forgot those rolly dudes would leave spikes behind. That's kind of their shtick. That and they're just a nuisance. What are the little eyeball hoppers? They're cute. They remind me of, oh god, what are they called? They're like one of the basic enemies in the Mega Man series, and I'm blanking on their names. A bit of a shame, they were cute. But honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if it isn't an intentional reference to some degree. Okay, there we go. We're in a comfortable spot. Tons of resources, lots of knives. None of the really good power-ups, but it's okay. You know, it's almost weird. Now that this game has been kind of abandoned but cheapened, I'd actually almost say, like, I kind of recommend this. I've been playing a lot of budget bangers lately, and it's weird to recommend a game that I know is never going to get finished, but at the same time, it's finished enough that it's, like, not bad. And some part of me wonders, you know, very distinctly, oh, right, we're trying to get a key here. We gotta kill enough enemies for it to show up. And it's not. I might just die here. Oh, no, it's open. Okay. I don't need that last amount of money. Money is nice. Survival is more important. I thought it was key-based, but I guess maybe it just depends. Let's just go down. I don't really want to set off the TNT. I don't... Oh, is that a repeatable chest? Interesting. There we go. Oh, those are the big worms. I know there's even bigger ones. Okay, I gotta be very careful not to set it off. Oh, that chest is gone. It's fine. I'll have other opportunities. What should be doing? Doing mostly okay. There we go. Gosh, wow, why is it such a bop? I'm not terribly surprised by this. I definitely remember it being good. There's a reason why I have 90 hours in this game. Which, I mean, still blows me away that I put that much time in, but oh! It didn't go away. Oh, isn't that... I think that's the feature of it. That, like, the more you drop it down, either the better the loot it is, or the cheaper it gets. I want to say that was, like, the secret behind how that thing works. I don't remember it that well, unfortunately. There's a lot of minor moments where I'm like, I kind of remember this, and there's a lot of stuff that, like, is stuck in my head, but it's been so long that I only partially remember. It definitely makes me want to play more though. Like, this game holds up because the core gameplay loop is solid. The level design is uninteresting and the enemies are effectively just there to die. It's more about just surviving as long as possible. It's kind of a satisfying arcade feel, rather than a lot of more modern roguelikes that I want to say they overproduce, because I think overproduce besmirches them a little bit. But, you know, Hades, for example. Hades is a lot of presentation. It's good presentation, don't get me wrong. But, like, you don't just casually play Hades. You get immersed in Hades. Okay, I think we want the saw. Oh. We don't want the saw. Or maybe we do. Or, oh, I see. The saw is a limited use item. I see how it works. It's kind of like just get it for this floor and go bananas. It's certainly just slings knives like nobody's business. Oh, and now it's gone for good. It's fine. Let's see. Can I get another boxing glove? No. But I could get the money at the very least. I don't need another boxing glove. I think boxing gloves are just extra knockback to my attacks. Maybe? Or no. It fires a random boxing glove. Occasionally. That's what it does. I remember now. And also can see right now. I have eyes. There we go. I could definitely use some more, oh gosh, what is it, black hole boxes. Give me that, Phoenix Pinion. I believe Phoenix Pinion is what nets me the, extra jumps. Though I don't know if the unlocks are for this run, or if I'm going to have to wait until the next to actually be able to utilize them. A bit of a tragedy if that's the case, but whatever. It's fine, I'll do another. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but it'll probably be sooner than later. I don't know. I want to spend some amount of time over the next year or so. It's just kind of whenever. Going out of my way to go back to a number of old games that I found particularly compelling. For some reason or another. So like, you know, this was one of those like big games for me, channel-wise. I don't actually know if it was like great views. I'd have to go back and check, but like it was enough clearly to sustain my channel in kind of a really impressive manner. Along with like Vagante and oh gosh, Vagante, Catacomb Kids, this, and like a couple others, and we'll be going back to a couple of them. Oddly enough, I want to say Vagante was the most important to my channel, just in terms of like growth and whatnot. I think that was like my first truly big break. There were a couple, like I said, or mentioned earlier, Runers kind of goes in the same vein. We need to save this chest, otherwise I'm in trouble. There we go. No, it just looks like it continues on to the next floor as long as I save it. Nothing more. Alright, let's grab this one. And... oh shoot, what does this do? Oh, secondary attack speed. Oh, that's big. Jin's Zephyr Horn. I don't think I'm going to be able to buy another one, but that's the one that makes it so if I get enough of them, my jackhammer allows me to fly. Which is, like, banger. Okay, let's just delete those guys before they leave too many. Yeah, I can just kind of hold right-click to just become Knife Master. And just gout knives like crazy. The shovel does not have this attack rate. Wish it did. I mean, I guess it could if you invest enough upgrades into it, but that ain't happening for me. Oh, there's still enemies left. Come here, my pretties. Give me your money. There we go. They survived long enough to serve their purpose. Anything else over here? Yes. I always got to check the upper area, because there's always at least a couple that like to kind of hide. There we go. Give them sweet loots. What else we got here? Kind of not much. And frankly, the level design on this really doesn't matter. But I mean, I've been playing Vampire Survivors lately. Like that's another budget banger kind of game where like they could just release the game and say it's done, and I would have no qualms about the money I put in. Honestly, no qualms about this one. If I can pay, I think I paid 10, maybe 15 bucks for this. But if I can pay that much for an indie game, like inherently, I think inherently, I'm more of a, it's this boss again. I want to say there's another boss, but I don't remember if there is. No, there definitely is. I remember a drill. Nice part is, my boxing gloves absolutely destroy this guy's ability to, do anything. Oh, I almost can fly. It seems like he's having problems. Ooh. And we've unlocked the alien. Nice. Okay, I don't think we have anything else here. Nah, doesn't look like it. Sometimes there's like some loot boxes around here, but they're rare. Alright, one problem is I don't think we have the upgrade that specifically increases my drill power, which is actually mega bad. Because you really need that drill upgrade. Otherwise, some of these stones become like too tough and you can't dig through them, and then you just die. It happens. And honestly, like at this point, if that's what does me in, so be it. I know Tesla coil is fantastic. Frankly, I already call this run a winner. But that's often the case. No, there are definitely some roguelikes where it's like a death, a loss is kind of a disappointment all the same. And maybe I think the difference is because, like, Binding of Isaac. Losing in Binding of Isaac is kind of disappointing. Just because, like, every run feels like an investment. In this one, every run feels like a challenge. A challenge to myself, and, like, a lot of it comes down to self-improvement. Whereas Isaac, I think there's a little bit more of that feel of, like, boy, RNG really just gave me nothing but, ooh, hello. No, those are the jump-ups. I don't remember the skulls are. I remember them also being pretty decent. I'm just gonna grab the money while I got it. I think we're gonna get one of both. Just to remember. Okay, skull. Increases crit chance, boosts accuracy. Right. That's what that does. And then the other one is extra jumps. Fly like the wind. Is it extra jumps or is it just jump height boosts? Might just be jump height boosts. I forget the specifics. I don't want to say it doesn't matter. It clearly does a little. Okay, can I get another? No. Okay, we gotta get out of here before I melt. There we go. There's always another shop. I'm just gonna rely on the boxing gloves, which oddly enough strike through walls. Don't question why. I don't know why. Or does it matter? There we go. Hey, more toxic flask. That's good stuff. The little rock man in there. He's having a bad day. It's like, what have I done to deserve this? Where did I come from? Oh, it's the slabs. I remember the slabs being tough suckers. Like, actually problematically tough. Never mind. Maybe it's another type of slab. Either that or I sucked at this game. I mean, that is always a possibility. Oh gosh, what was it? I mean, going back to Steriden recently, there's kind of that feeling of like, man, was I just like bad at this back in the day? And the real answer was I just had supremely good luck going into that run. But it's not uncommon where I'll like go back to an old game that I was actually like kind of terrible at years later and then be like, oh, this isn't so bad. I sincerely believe, I mean, I think this is a truth about humans. That sleeping on something specifically, not like physically, but like sleeping on an idea or whatever, and just thinking about it, makes you better at it. I think it's because your brain. Sorry, I got banana muffin hiccups. Your brain will kind of actively process it while you're asleep. And so it's why, you know, sometimes it's actually a better idea to study, maybe not right before bed, but not like, you know, it's a good idea to get like a decent amount of sleep before a major test or something of the sort, because ultimately your brain is refreshed. And okay, there's the keys. Okay, I see. Okay, so there's that. So we only had to find one key and nothing more. Oh, that makes my life easier. Ow. Something here is explode. Oh my god, I forgot about these suckers. That said, I think we just sent it into the unspawned ceiling and it just yeeted it out of existence. Which, like, frankly, good enough for me. There we go. Level up. Oh, I forgot level ups heal you. Either that or I got a health pickup I didn't know about, which is entirely possible. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely remember, especially when I was like an art student, there was kind of that feeling of I'd go back to something that I'd sleep on it, or like maybe not do art for a couple weeks or even a couple months. I'd come back and actually be like way better than I thought. Obviously, there's like an amount of rust, especially when dealing with like certain techniques or something like that. But I'd be quite surprised by like my ability to improve. I think part of it is also the older I get, the less like things get to me. I think there's a lot that gets to me, but like things within my control don't bug me as much. And so like I used to be very perfectionist about my art. I'd spend loads of time trying to improve. Wow, these suckers used to be really annoying. Apparently three boxing gloves is all that I need to just render them completely meaningless as far as a run goes. Either that or I don't know. Other things are happening I'm not aware of. I'm just gonna have to go down because I don't think I'm gonna be able to dig this out now. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. Survive until the door opens. Well, that makes my life easy. Want more knives? Nah. More knives is silly. Doesn't really help too much. What's this? Critical hits inflict enemies with a paralyzing curse. It's okay. I'll probably save for other things. I'm sure it's great, especially if I paired it with the bone skull. But I think there's other things I'd rather afford. I know there's an upgrade that specifically gives you yeah, the wing ring does give me a third jump. There we go. I know there's one that gives me multi-shot, and also if I can buy this little mini asteroid thing, I know you can get the saw blades to be like excessively large in such a beautiful manner, and that is my goal. Whenever I play this game, I want excessively large weapons. Does not matter if it is practical, does not matter if it makes any sense. I just want to go absolutely bananas with the biggest damn saw blades you ever did see. Alright, these things are dying at an advanced rate, and I gotta get out of here. There we go, give me the sweet days. We got around. Whoa, I don't remember the phantom enemies. I mean, how wild would it be if it turns out that Vine 2D has been, like, stealth updating this for years now? I think these phantom worms existed in the game, but, like, it would... I don't know. There's a couple of games like that where it would just be, like, super lovely for the developer to just come back and fix. Oddly enough, I'm writing a video on unfinished games. It's part of the reason why I wanted to record this. I'm actually finding myself, like, very impressed going back to it, and obviously a little disappointed that it didn't get finished. But, you know, the idea of unfinished games has kind of been stuck in my head a little bit just because there's nothing like this. You know, there's games similar, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing exactly like Cavern Kings. And there possibly never will be. I mean, unless Vine 2D decides to, like, come back. I think that was a stealth eyeball. Cluster fire and bigger weapon, better damage. It's damage up, and it is a size up. You gotta get like a gazillion of them to really, you know, really sing. But once you do, ooh, it gets good. But yeah, so it's like this game among trees. I was actually going to say, oddly enough, it'd be really interesting, now that Microsoft owns gaming, if they actually specifically went back and started kind of fulfilling certain things. Like, Double Fine made space-based DF9, and then, yeah, there it is, drill box. They made space-based DF9 and then kind of abandoned it in a way that I'm sure upset many, many fans. Me included. I thought it was going to be kind of neat, and it was pretty disappointing that they just kind of ditched it. Paralyzing curse. It's okay. Anything else? No, doesn't look like it. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, so it wasn't quite drill box. That was close. Oh, this is going to have consequences, or not, actually. Right, because now we're in the dark levels, and also the levels where it's very, very difficult for me to dig. It's fine. Anyway, what was I gonna say? But yeah, it would actually be really neat if Microsoft was like, hey, I know people, like, are still kind of mad at Double Fine for this. We're just gonna finish it. It probably wouldn't be worth it for them, but, like, wouldn't that be a wild take? Because, like, truly, no matter what Microsoft does at this point, as long as they don't, like, screw up too bad, or, oh, there it is. More bullets! So now I have a double shot. Unfortunately, I believe it actually reduces the size, but it doesn't reduce the damage. Yeah, it's worth it. But, like, unless Microsoft really screws up at this point, they've got the Game Pass. Oh, right, those spikes are deadly. I don't think I'm getting most of that money. Bit of a shame, but understandable. Ooh. Okay, so we've got a couple here. I do have a lot of money. I'm gonna grab this. Increases crit damage, but that's not what we're here for. We're getting the black hole boxes. The larger my black hole radius is, the less effort I have to do, or put into picking anything up. That means I can leave levels safely. And, you know, already generally have all of the requisite money. How was I gonna say? But, like, they really could just go absolutely bananas with, I don't want to say, like, all of the games that kind of Microsoft has been in charge of over the years. But, you know, really just kind of go back to some of the backlogs and, like, I don't want to say right the wrongs of the studios that they've acquired, but that'd be neat. I can't actually think of too many games. What I can think of more is, like, I mean, now that they own Activision, there's quite a number of, like, Activision and Blizzard IPs that never got finished, or never had proper follow-ups. I believe the current rumor is that, like, maybe Hexen, which, boy, that would be a trip if we got, like, a modern Hexen. Honestly, I'd have to say, either they go, like, full Doom 2016 with it and go bananas, or I'd almost say, like, go full Graven, and absolutely eschew, like, modern sensibilities and make it, like, a proper boomer shooter and sell it for $10. You know, just Game Pass. I don't want to say Game Pass bait, but, like, don't bother with budgets, don't make it look fancy, just make it, like, really appeal to the people that played it, like, back in the day, and leave, you know, the really fancy graphics for Doom. Kind of in the same vein, I was seeing a lot of people talking about, like, a modern Quake, because I believe Quake was also kind of discussed. I thought there was like a new Quake being talked about, or no, I thought there was a new Quake that was made relatively recently. I didn't pay any attention to it because I have minimal interest in Quake, but I almost wonder for some of these, like, if it would actually just be a better idea to go low-budget boomer shooter, as kind of like a vacation game for developers working on something else. Like, hey, id, you just finished, Doom Eternal 2, Doom Temporary, Doom Transient, Doom Temporary, Doom Hello, what is this? I forget. Stuns every enemy when an elite monster dies. I don't really care too much about that one, to be honest. But yeah, just like a vacation game where they're just like, alright, cool, you made the big AAA thing. Now spend the next, like, year chilling while we work on the... We start doing the preliminaries on that one, but, like, y'all can just work on, going absolutely bananas on, you know, the next Hexen. And it's just, like, whatever graphics they want, whatever art style they want to do, and just mostly focus on, like, the core gameplay loop more than anything else, and just make it as banger as possibly can be. Because I think especially, like, with the Game Pass and a number of games, like, there's always going to be room for the big AAA blockbusters. I think there's always going to be the demand for it, too. Okay, I really have to start digging because, Jesus, it is not letting me go down. I remember why I have 90 hours in this game. It's like the perfect podcast game for me. I'm sorry I stopped. But then again, I don't know. Probably had other roguelikes to play. Probably Slay the Spire. I don't know. I wish there were more games that specifically were just like AAA studios just getting the chance to chill for a while and make something fun. Whatever they want, as opposed to like the big blockbusters. Because nothing would excite me more than for that, oddly enough, to go away on a conceptual level. Like, you know, have one or three, but I can only play like a couple of big blockbusters in a year, and then past that point, I'm just kind of sick of them. They're fun enough, but many of them are kind of repetitive, and I don't want to say samey, because a lot of them are completely different in their own rights, but, you know, what's a good example? Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West is coming out. Oh, right, it's the water. Water's, like, super weird. And kind of dangerous. There we go. There we go. Ooh, shovels. That's absolutely exactly what I need. Okay, so now we have 2 drill. I forgot items would actually drop off of those guys. Oh, useful all the same. I just have to be a little careful because I can just get insta-gibbed. Oh, there's a little eye man. I'm just gonna kind of hang here. Oh boy. Yeah, the water levels are really spooky, because you absolutely can just get donked there in a bad way. Wow, triple drill. I had forgotten about this. I don't remember if it means even more knives. It certainly means more digging power. I know there's a separate thing that is like a better drill bit that increases my digging power, but it's not quite the same. But, like, I really miss kind of the days when AAA games were low budget, oddly enough. I mean, not that oddly enough, but like, back when Rare was kind of the height of AAA. Because, like, none of those games, I mean, they looked great for the time, but none of those games, like, were really, like, pushing the limit. It was more about style and quality and pizzazz and poor gameplay loop. And so for me, you know, sure, I'd love to play the next Doom, but I was tired of playing Doom by the time I was done playing Doom. But, like, this game, for example, I'm not going to be tired of it. Like, no matter how much time passes, like, going back to this is nothing short of a blast. Okay, we definitely want this, as melee attacks drain enemy health, and we'll get a couple of rocket pods. Randomly fires a barrage of missiles. The blood healing is pretty good, but not terribly useful. I mean, it's good. Especially because I can just, like, hang out on something and just eat it. But the rocket barrage is a little bit more fun. Especially because my attack speed is, like, through the roof and then some. There we go. Do I have enough for more rockets? Yeah, more rockets. Especially because the more expensive stuff, like, I'll have to get later. Look at how much the eyeballs just, like, rocket you into the sky. Okay, let's get out of here. Oh, look at that dig speed. We're good. Alright, sup, dig box. Yeah, I should be able to just kind of hang out and eat this guy. without too much trouble. Usually what happens is I die by getting bounced into the ceiling. Frankly, I'm actually really impressed at how well I've, like, done so far. I was expecting to get cooked, but no dice. Some enemies explode on death. Useful. Oh, those are my own saw blades. There's no more loot. It's fine. What else we got around here? How am I still going? I was expecting this to be kind of a short thing, but here we are. Absolutely rocking it. But, you know, I guess I'm always wondering, like, what could AAA studios do if they had the unfettered creativity of indie games? And I think you see it every once in a while. There's Child of Light, which, Child of Light, Grow Home, and, like, Valiant Hearts, which were all, like, some pretty banger indie games from Ubisoft back in the day. Also the Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends, which were also pretty good, but like a little bit more high profile-ish. And, you know, when they announced that they were never going to do another one of those, I was always a little bit disappointed, because I was just like, oh, but that was my favorite part. I talk about this topic often, and am consistently disappointed by this topic somewhat often. Where did that worm go? It just peace. Alright. And so, a significant part of me is always just, like, kind of hoping that one of these, like, big AAA producers is gonna just, like, figure out the secret to becoming, I don't want to say, like, the indie game master, because I think no matter what, companies are still going to be a little bit more refined. But who knows? Maybe they won't be. I don't know. The only problem is if AAA starts getting heavily into indie games, then, boy, my schedule is going to die forever. Because, like, I'm already busy enough with, you know, AAA developers that go off to make their own studios, and then, you know, go off to make their own studios, make an indie game, and then I am duty-bound to play it. I say duty-bound, when it comes down to it, like, I'm not. I'm actually, really rolling back on the amount of indie games that I've been covering lately, or at least covering to completion. Hits Ghostly Clone when you take damage. Oh, useful. But yeah, I realized that I was kind of overburdening myself a little bit with the amount of games that I've been covering. So you might notice I haven't been doing as many series lately, even if I want to. It's slightly more valuable for me to, oh boy. It's slightly more valuable for me to just kind of take my time and live, rather than go, like, hard and finish everything. Like, last year I kind of resolved myself, like, I'm gonna try and finish every game that I start, and I don't know if I can do that. I think I'm going to, but I think the real answer is just starting less. It's kind of the other one. You know, literally, do not bite off more than you can chew, is the real answer. I am so glad I picked up all those black hole boxes. That is making my life so much easier here. And even then, it's kind of tough. And I'm kind of in the doldrums for a couple of series at the moment, and it's just like, oh, I want to finish these, but they're dragging. Whereas I can load up a random indie game for like an hour and be like, man, that was a satisfying experience. I never want to do that again for like a year. Especially roguelikes. Like, that's kind of the beauty of them. You play them for a bit, and they're, you know, then you can take them out of your library and just be like, yeah, that was fun. And I don't think there's I don't think there's a whole lot of games that really do that same level of, like, kind of cozy non-commitment. You know, it's arcade games, it's like kind of sandbox stuff-ish. There's a lot of sandbox games that really do have quite the commitment to them, admittedly. Okay, this is not a key map. Let's grab that. Okay, there we go. Well, do we... whatever. Boxing hell. Watch, you want to get close to me. Good luck. I will yeet you out of this level. I realize that there's no leaving. I'll yeet you out of existence. You know, it's not actually... I mean, it's pretty powerful. Holy shit, it does tons of damage. I don't think I'm gonna go back up there and grab more. Get out of here. Wow. I used to go for just, like, biggest possible shots, but also maximum number of shots. But I think the real answer is maximum number of boxing gloves. Who needs anything else? There we go. That all of it? No, not quite. Thank you, black hole boxes, for making my life so much easier. Okay, we already got that, so I just don't need to care. There we go. So do I get I do get boxing gloves just by holding right click. Perfect. Anything else interesting here? I mean, I can just delete those, which is pretty wild. The missiles are also, like, really working. Honestly, I have some questions on whether or not my gun is actually as good as just the amount of boxing gloves and missiles that I'm just blitzing out like the crazy person. Some real questions. It's fine. It's, as I say, finishing games, not finishing games, playing indie games for whatever reason. I don't know. There's just so many of them, but like they're all fun too. That's the wild part. I was chatting with Shell earlier, I guess to go back to the Microsoft thing, because that's been kind of the Wanderbots household conversation for the last couple of days. That and some other topics, but the Microsoft one I think is kind of dominated, because there's that like kind of internal fear of like, boy, I don't know if you guys have ever looked at like the food industry, specifically like store-bought food items. But especially in the US, most store-bought food items are made by like 10 companies, tops. It's probably less than that. Same thing with like news media. I want to say like most news channels are owned by like 5 people or something absolutely wild. And so it's just like these 5 people pretty much own our perception of what's going on in the world, unless you specifically watch like truly independent media. And no, Fox News is not that. I had somebody trying to convince me of that a long time ago. They're just like, they're the only ones reporting the truth. You know, they're independent. And it's like, no, they're not. They're trying to sell you scam. Look, let's not go further into this. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that channel. I was gonna say website because I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV in like for freaking ever. I barely even like watch movies or television shows. Anyway, gosh, where was I? Oh, right. Kind of the idea of, games kind of consolidating down into a very, very small number of channels. And, like, there's kind of, companies. And there's, like, a very real fear that this could happen. Okay, remember Titanium Ooze is amazing. But I don't remember what it does. Oh well. Let's see. Oh, there's the ice. I don't remember what the ice does. Freezes enemies in their tracks. Okay. So it's actually more of a stun if I remember right. Or, no, it is a slow. Either way, useful. Where am I at with the words that I'm saying? Right. But like, there's a legitimate concern that at some point, you know, all AAA is going to be under the banner of like the Embracer Group, which is also THQ Nordic, but now Embracer. Which oddly enough, like I never would have expected THQ to kind of rise from the ashes and then become one of the last remaining, you know, big AAA companies. And like, there is EA. I have questions about whether or not EA is going to survive. My assumption is EA might actually be the next Microsoft acquisition. They've already got their stuff as part of the Game Pass. Ooh, yeah, don't do that. Oh, right. There's the mech worm. I knew there was a drill creature. That said, he is not a concern. But so, like, there's Microsoft, there's Nintendo, there's Sony, there's Sega, there's Capcom, there's Square Enix, there's Namco Bandai. I'm sure there's more. I mean, I know Insomniac just got bought out / joined Sony, like, officially. Which, honestly, was kind of a done deal anyway. Like, that was gonna happen at some point. Oh, Cycle 2. Got the Tome of Secrets. can't believe I cycled on my first run. I really must just have muscle memory for this, and just the Wanderluck is always real. I don't know. I think also, I do way better when I'm not paying attention to games sometimes. Like, if I'm just tuned out and talking about something else, I get, like, I don't want to say way better at video games, but it certainly feels like it. I think I'm just kind of letting, oh gosh, I'm letting conscious thought not distract me from what I'm doing and just kind of letting my mouth do whatever the hell it wants, which, okay, that sounded weird. And that is the downside to letting my mouth do whatever it wants. I don't know how long we want this run to go on for. Frankly, it's gone on long enough. We've looped, so I might want to just kind of yeet myself into a ceiling in a little while. I want to spend my money on something, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Today, no, I think things still take a while to chew through, so it does get harder and harder, even on a cycle. Maybe not. I don't know. I know at some point you also get, like, way more big worms, which is something that I could... Wow, they just did not feel like spawning there, I guess. Alright. Anyway, so, you know, ever-shrinking AAA company selection, that is a bad thing. That said, it's a very small bad thing, in my opinion. It's weird. You know, if it weren't for the indie, the indie boom, I think I would be way more concerned about, you know, AAA companies just eating each other and kind of just pulling like a Highlander situation where there truly can only be one. You know. Oh, hello. Maybe I can only get a couple of those, but still. My saw blades aren't actually that much bigger. Splitting the size absolutely destroys their ability to become monstrously huge. But it does make them do a lot more damage, so I ain't complaining. I'll see if I can get enough for another. 1983? Yeah. I want to make sure I don't get this chainsaw. Chainsaw is great, don't get me wrong, but the impermanence of it makes it kind of not that helpful. Let's see, what was I gonna say? But so, like, nowadays, you know, if Microsoft goes like full stupid again, and you know they're like, it's time for the Kinect 2, and it's every game must have it or it can't be on our platform after they eat Nintendo for good. And, you know, Sony at some point just went all in on the Sony Vita X, and then, well, was never seen again. Like, obviously this is never going to happen. Microsoft seems to understand its place in the industry a little bit better now. I don't want to say that they were presumptive with, like, the Kinect, but I think they overestimated its potential, and also I think VR killed it. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft doesn't dive into VR in a really big way in the next X number of years. And I think that would be kind of an interesting venture for them. Largely because I don't feel like a lot of the current VR companies are doing a very good job of it. And so I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft doesn't hop in, and then maybe after like one gaffe makes something pretty great. At least that seems to be their current modus operandi. And, like, it's working, too, much to their credit. Like, the original Xbox was promising, but ultimately couldn't hold a candle to the PlayStation. It's just that the exclusives for it really appealed to a specifically Western audience, which gave them a really heavy foothold, which, like, good for them. And then the Xbox 360, I think, was just the budget model, because Sony was just like, we're going to go all in on a big, expensive console, and everybody else is like, but why, though? And then they absolutely, like, Microsoft absolutely whiffed it with the Xbox One. I think they got it in the end, and, like, it's way better now. Oh, charges your bullets when not shooting. Right. Yeah, that's the stuff. Obviously, a little limited on its usefulness now. I'm going to get that money. Sweet. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Give me the money. Give me all that money. Microsoft owning everything VR and whatnot. Anyway, yeah, they absolutely whiffed it with the Xbox One, but they hit a gold mine with the Game Pass. I still think that's a brilliant idea, and I'm actually really hoping that continues to take off, even to the point where you actually see both Microsoft and Sony having kind of Game Passes. I don't think Nintendo ever will, just because Nintendo's weird as heck and they can do whatever they want. As long as their exclusives are good, everybody will keep buying Nintendo products. And, you know, honestly, as far as like a small, handheld, portable budget console that can play, you know, most indie games and, you know, AAA games at a severe graphical downgrade, like, there is 100% space for that in the industry and the market, and I think it will kind of remain as such for a while. And so, like, I don't know, they can do what they want. I think Sony's biggest strength is always just going to be pushing their exclusives as well. I think that's a good way of doing it to some degree. You know, let Xbox just have the width at this point, and instead just give a good reason for why you'd want to buy a PlayStation instead. Oh shit, that just killed me. I either wasn't watching my health or that thing really did a lot of damage. I have no idea. Well, we unlocked a shit ton of things. I probably should have looked at what these do, but, like, whatever. Can I check here? Nope. Alright, whatever. Doesn't matter once we get in. So we got Jack. Jack has nothing special about him. Mishka, attack speed increases as health decreases, which is great. I remember Alien was great. Oh, Spacesuit is immune to the effects of weather and has a higher jump. Which is kind of good bad, because can fling self into ceiling. I don't know. Either way, I really enjoyed this. That was a solid hour and it didn't feel like it. There's something truly satisfying about I was going to call it Catacomb Kids again. I have been making that mistake for like 6 years now. And you know what? 7? 7 years now. And you know what? I'm not liable to stop. Anyway, Cavern Kings is fantastic. It's such a shame that it never got finished. 8 years now. This came out back in 2014. This came out a year into my channel's existence. Wow. Anyway, it's such a shame it never got finished, but at the same time, I can safely say, for $5, I don't know if that matters. And to some degree, I would love to see, you know, a bunch of people pick this game up, and Vine2D looks at it and is like, oh, hey, people are interested in this again, and then finishes it. Just because it feels like there's only so much more that needs to be added. Maybe a couple more weapons and mostly just the multiplayer. There's a couple of reviews talking specifically about what they're missing. And I'm going to grab it. Okay, here we go. So the stuff that they are missing is finalizing the remaining characters and abilities, improved local co-op, online multiplayer, new character skins. I don't care about that. Better variety in room generation. That actually would be quite nice. A couple new weapons would also be nice. At least 2 more bosses. That would actually be huge, because I think we saw every single boss available in the game. And that's a bit of a downer, because I think it was only 3. A couple more power-ups, which would also be nice, and then just get rid of bugs. And then otherwise, I don't know. I would love to see that happen. At the same time, it's dead. Who cares? It's $5. Like, this is going to be the year of the budget bangers for me, and I'm specifically going to keep an eye on that. And I think that's kind of important. You know, obviously limited amounts of money, but also, you know, $5 for an experience that you can put like an hour into every couple of days, or maybe go really, really deep on. And just, like, it's going to be worth it no matter what. And so that's kind of where I stand on this one, that, like, yeah, tragedy that it wasn't finished, but it's still very much worth the price. So, I guess with all that, if you guys have any other old roguelikes that have kind of come and gone and that I haven't covered and you want me to check out, let me know in the comments below. Or, you know, maybe I did cover them, it just has been a couple of years. Because I'd love to go back through and play a bunch of these, like, old bangers that I used to play and really put some time into them. Or, you know, just come back and see if I still have the old magic, ? And then also, if you know of any, like, really good budget banger indie games, but roguelikes especially, I'd also love to have, like, compile a list for that. Because I think that would be really kind of a neat thing, to just have this big long list of, like, yeah, here's a bunch of games you can buy for $5. Not even on sale. And they're all great. Because I'm putting together a list, and I want to check it at least a couple times, peer-reviewed. But with all that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.